Hi everyone, Miss Daniela here, back at it again with another story hour. Woohoo! Joining me today is this stuffed animal who we don't have a name for them yet. Please make sure if you have a name suggestion, put it in the comments. Your name might win, your suggestion might win. And then as you can tell, we are once again at the library. But yeah, so for this story hour, we're going to be reading Leave Me Alone by Vera Bosco. It's a really fun read. It's about a granny who wants to just be left alone. And yeah, we're going to get started. Put him down and then time to read. This book is available here at the Mayo Public Library for you to check out. So please do so when we open again. Once there was an old woman. She lived in a very small village in a small house. With a very big family. There's a lot of people. There's like 10 kids just up here, and then there's more following. Winter was coming. That meant that she had some very important knitting to do, but it wasn't getting done. I wonder why. They were all playing. Her grandchildren were very curious about her knitting. Were you supposed to hit the ball with a stick? Could you eat it? Could your brother eat it? Why did the ball get smaller and smaller as you chased it? They're running around with the yarn. The old woman was at the end of her rope. So she made her bed as neatly as she could. She swept the floorboards until they were more or less shiny. She drank from her tea and smavar, and packed up her things in a big sack as she left and shouted back. I wonder what she's gonna shout. Leave me alone. Granny fed up. The old woman walked through the deep forest. She made a fire so that she could see what she was doing. Then she sat down and began to knit. The bear family was very curious about the light from her fire and about what she was making or what she tasted like. They're about to eat her. Leave me alone, the old woman shouted. But they didn't listen because bears don't speak English. So she picked up her sack and left. Good thing they didn't eat her. She was not scared. She pointed right at the bear. The old woman climbed up the mountains. It was cold, so she found a shelter place. Then she sat down and began to knit. The mountains goats grew excited to have a visitor, especially one that brought snacks. They're eating her yarn. Leave me alone, the old lady shouted. But the goats were too busy fighting over the red ones, which they all agreed were the best. So she picked up her sack and left. The old woman climbed higher and higher up the mountain. She reached the top and climbed onto the moon. She's in the moon. She went off the mountain, went into the moon. She found a rock that was shaped like a chair. She sat down and began to knit. The little green Moonmen had never seen a woman before, old or otherwise. They examined her with handheld scanners that went beep boop. There's aliens on the moon. Leave me alone, the old woman shouted. But the little green moonmen didn't hear her because they didn't have any ears. So she picked up her sack and left through a wormhole. That looks more like a black hole to me. The void on the other side of the wormhole was very dark and very, very, very quiet. She was absolutely, completely, utterly alone. And it was perfect. Dang, it was so dark the color of her clothes went away. And the page. Soon she had no more yarn and 30 little sweaters. And she was alone. I wonder why she made all of those sweaters. So she put the 30 little sweaters back into her big sack. She swept the void until it was a nice matte black. She had a cup of tea from her samovar, where she picked up the sack and left through another wormhole. When she came out the other side, everything was right where she left it. And she didn't say a word. It looks like the 30 sweaters were for her grandchildren and everybody in her household. The end. Wow. So that was such a great story. But yeah, thank you for joining us on this story hour. Remember to comment a name suggestion for this little buddy here. And if you haven't signed up for our summer reading program called Share Your Story, you can do so. And the link is right above in the description or in the comments below, whichever one is easier for you. Please continue to support your public library. Give us a like, share it, comment, anything. And yeah, see you in the next one. Bye-bye.